Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about x-rays. Now, before you just totally tune me out, hear me out. Here's why I think it's important for you to learn about x-rays, because many of you are seeking treatment and you want to get the best results possible with that treatment. So that's why we're going to talk about x-rays today. And this is primarily happening because there was just a new study released in a research paper called Dose Response. And it's out right now, Q2 2025. And I wanted to talk about this article, which is the rationale and safety of routine imaging and rehabilitative spine care, and why x-rays are important. Some of you may not know, if you're new around here, that I am a chiropractor. So I am a practicing chiropractor. I've been practicing for just shy of 20 years. And in that 20 years, I have relied on x-ray quite heavily. I love x-rays. I'm a spinal geek through and through. And even more so with the technique that I practice in my office, I practice a corrective chiropractic care technique, which means that yes, you can come in when you're having pain, but more importantly, I want you to come in on a regular basis in the beginning, especially so that if there's a problem with your spine that we can see structurally on x-rays, we're going to work on fixing it. And the only way that we know how to really fix it properly is when we do have x-rays. So most people that walk into my office do get x-rays. Not pregnant women, not little kids all the time, not babies, that kind of thing. But if you're an adult, if you're even if you're a child, if you're a teenager, and you've had some traumas, you're in your sports or in sports, the likelihood is that I'm going to take some x-rays because of what we found out with this report right here. I've already known this, and many other practicing chiropractors who practice spinal correction already knew this, but the information in this study just really validates why we do what we do. And there are some chiropractors and lots of medical doctors and physical therapists for that matter, who don't think that x-rays should be done. They think they're dangerous and they prove no point. And I don't think that could be farther from the truth. So that's why I wanted to go over the study with you and give you some of the highlights and kind of just a little bit of a review of the article. So one of the things that the study found was that spinal alignment matters. So numerous radiographic cut and point values, such as forward head posture of greater than 25 millimeters, or cervical lordosis, which is the curve in your neck less than 20 degrees, or scoliosis more than 20 degrees, reliably distinguish between healthy individuals and those suffering from back pain, neck pain, headaches, disability, or poor quality of life. So you might be like, well, you could see those things without an x-ray. No, actually, you can't. You need an x-ray to be able to see specifically what a curve looks like in the neck. I say this day in and day out. Our curve, ideal curve, based on more research, in the cervical spine should be 42 degrees. Most people come nowhere even close to that. So if I see someone that comes in and instead of having a nice curve in their neck is really straight and also very forward, we knew that we've got some work in front of us, right? So they give the numbers here. Cervical lordosis less than 20 degrees, which most people walk in with less than 20 degrees. I shouldn't say most, I should say many people walk in with less than 20 degrees. Also, many people, especially children these days, are walking in with more than 25 millimeters of forward head posture. So what does that mean? Forward head posture is how far forward your head is in front of your body. You want your ear over your shoulders, which are down and back, over your pelvis, over your feet. I've talked about this before. Alignment, posture, so darn important. But we know that 25 millimeters, in fact, I've seen other research that says 20 millimeters is the cutoff for proper health, especially if you want to be an athlete. There was a study done in Dubai a few years ago that said 20 is like the cutoff mark for like athletic performance. If you want to be good, you got to have your head over your body. If you don't want to be as good, you can have your head wherever you want it, right? But we know that every inch forward doubles the weight of your head. So if your head is out by 25 millimeters, you're doubling and tripling the weight of that head. So your head is like a bowling ball. You don't want your head out here, or excuse me, you don't want to hold a bowling ball out here. You want to hold a bowling ball close to you. Same thing with your head. We don't want your head out here. We want your head here. And when we can see that reliably with x-rays, we can help you fix that and form better habits and better posture so you have better health, right? Another bullet point: outcomes improve when cut points are corrected. This is what I was just talking about. So, patients with spinal displacements beyond these thresholds are the very ones who fail post treatment unless alignment is addressed. So, what this is saying is that, let's say someone goes into a physical therapist or to a medical doctor and they might see relief from their neck pain, but their head is still too far in front of their body, or their curve in their neck is still too straight. They're the ones, and they're above that 25 millimeters or below that 20-degree curve. What this study is saying is that those are the ones that are going to fail. They might feel good for a while, but they're going to then regress, and the pain is going to reoccur again. That's not what we want. So if we can see based on x-rays that, oh, your pain might be because of this alignment issue and this posture issue, let's address both the posture, the alignment, the muscles, everything together, then we get a better, more long-lasting result, right? Next one: no meaningful radiation risk. The presumed cancer risk from spinal x-rays is based on the discredited linear no threshold LNT model. Modern evidence shows low dose x-rays pose no risk and may even be have beneficial adaptive effects. This has been an ongoing debate and argument that, you don't need that because it's unnecessary radiation. Well, first of all, a chiropractor who's good at what they do, they're not just willy-nilly shooting x-rays, every day. We're taking them pre and post treatment, right? And post treatment a while longer, right? We are taking them at regular basis and regular checkpoints, so we can see if the therapy and the treatment that we're doing is effective and useful and working, right? If we take a set of re-x-rays and we're like, something's not right here, then we know that we need to reassess our treatment methods and come up with a better plan, right? Everyone's different, and it's really fun to watch people heal and change and see those changes through x-ray, but at times it's also really frustrating because you're like, oh my gosh, you look just like, X, Y, and Z that walked in. You should respond the same, but no one responds the same, right? So it's a challenge at times. But we've known for a really long time that the X-rays that we're taking are not harmful. We're not taking chest X-rays and all the stuff all the time. We're taking low radiation, low risk X-rays, and especially with the new equipment that we have out now, you can take really good x-rays with minimal radiation dose. And if you're that worried about radiation dose, don't go to the airport. Holy moly, don't get up in the air and fly, because there's radiation there too. Did you know that? We have radiation just from being in Earth. On Earth, we're going to have radiation. But yeah, the beneficial adaptive effects could be that it helps us, that low dose every once in a while radiation could help kill off like things like cancer cells or other harmful things happening in our body. So there could be, and we know that there are beneficial adaptive effects. The next one: negligence to omit imaging. So failing to radiographically diagnose spinal deformities leaves patients biomechanically undiagnosed, leading to missed or delayed diagnoses and potentially harmful black box treatments. We do not want to misdiagnose or underdiagnose anyone. And knowing that there's no risk in radiation, it's a win-win, right? Why wouldn't we take the x-rays so we can see what the alignment looks like? Now, I will say, if you go to a medical doctor and they take x-rays, they might see that nothing's wrong. I would take those x-rays then and go to a chiropractor with them, right? Because a well-trained corrective care specialist chiropractor will look at them and be like, no, like, of course you don't have, because medical doctors are looking for fractures, major deformities, and pathologies, right? They're not necessarily looking at alignment, right? They don't look at an x-ray and be like, well, your neck is straight, you should probably fix that, right? They're not trained in that. That's not their specialty. That's where chiropractors really have our specialties. Let's see. So there are multiple benefits of routine imaging. So precise biomechanical diagnosis, avoiding missed or delayed diagnoses, timely specialist referrals. I refer people to other specialists all the time, whether it's a physical therapist. I have some really good relationships with physical therapists here in town, massage therapy, acupuncture, my nurse practitioners who are functional medicine practitioners in the area, I refer out all the time because I know that I can't fix everything, right? I'm going to need help sometimes with some of these different cases. And then there's also cost savings. So avoiding unnecessary MRIs and CTs. I was just talking to a patient about this the other day. I said, all right, Jillian, you, I know you want to get an MRI because you want to know what's going on, but what's an MRI going to do for you, really, truly? Like, I think that MRIs can be very helpful. I have another patient right now that I have been suggesting him seek out care with another provider for a while because I know that something else is going on and it's out of my realm, out of my specialty, right? So I'm like, yeah, I think we need some further examination, further testing, potentially an MRI, potentially a CT, right? When it's necessary. But for this other girl, let's call her Jillian, she just wants to see what's going on. And I'm like, okay, well, my threshold for an MRI or further imaging like that is it going to change the treatment plan? If it's going to change the treatment plan, great. If not, we're just getting a really expensive diagnostic tool that isn't necessarily as helpful as you might think it's going to be. And I think with Jillian, that's exactly what it's going to be. And she understood that too. But she's like, I just want to see, I don't know why this is happening. And I was like, well, you know what? If it's going to soothe your mind, then that's one thing. But just know that it's expensive and it's maybe not necessary, right? And then the last benefit of routine imaging is higher patient satisfaction as well. And I think that I could pull everyone in my office and former patients, current patients, whatever it might be, and say, what's your satisfaction with the level of care in my office? And they would say high. And I would say, okay, give me some reasons for that. And I think almost every one of my patients has absolutely loved the ability to see their x-rays and see progression through time, right? It's a learning tool, especially in the beginning when I'm trying to teach you the importance of why alignment matters, why your spine health matters, why your posture matters. If I can put it up in front of you in black and white and you can see it and you can say, oh my gosh, this is worse than I thought. It's a, it's, it's important to take care of this, right? And that's, it's just, it's undeniable at that point. So definitely a really great patient education tool, as well as giving us the roadmap for how we need to fix and correct things in my office as well. So this article, I'm really happy to see it come out, and hopefully it gets some traction because routine radiographic imaging should be a standard of care in spine rehabilitation. And I'm going to continue to take x-rays in my office, and I'm going to continue to educate people through them. And we're going to continue to see changes, positive changes with people's health and their outcomes. It's not just about how you are right now, but if we can help you be healthy and change the trajectory of your life, I'm pretty on board with that. I'm on board with that. So I'm kind of curious. What do you think? Have you been to a chiropractor that has taken x-rays? And if so, did they explain them to you? Did you like it? Was it helpful? Right? And if you do need a chiropractor in your area that you want to go to and you're like, I don't know who to go to, throw me, leave your zip code down in the comments below and I'll see if I can help you out and get you to a corrective care specialist like myself. There are more and more corrective care chiropractic specialists popping up all over the country, primarily with the technique of CBP, so chiropractic biophysics. That's what I'm certified in. That's what I love. That's what I do. That's why I got all the crazy equipment and fancy equipment in my office, because I know that that's what makes the difference. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your support. If you've got questions, like I said, leave them in the comments. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I got new content that comes out every Monday and Thursday.